Okay, there you have it.
That was a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot.
The debrief. Debrief.
I would
man.
not want to be in the seat.
It's a tough spot to be in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially we kind of talked about the bipartisanship, but a house divided is gonna fall, right? So I guess the writing's on the wall to if we can't get this thing together, which it ultimately seems over and over, year after year, especially in this administration. What does working together even look like?
And is it worth it to work together if all the companies have vested interests in other countries as a hedge?
Maybe work together means from an international standpoint. A global work together.
Yes. That's interesting.
Get your tickets to the
for sure.
Politics as usual. Wow.
For sure. That's the other part. I don't know if that system will ever change. It just seems like it's getting more divided.
It's definitely getting more divided. And I'll tell you what, too. Like just even being in China, say what you want, but this country. One thing about this country, everybody's on the same page, and that's helpful. And I think that's one of the reasons why they're actually moving forward. Like I was talking to somebody today, and we talked about Taiwan, and they were saying like, you could be doing the best business in the world with somebody. You could have a check for $2 million. If you say Taiwan is an independent nation, everything is going to change.
It's over. Yep.
They're not going to do business with you. Their attitude towards you is going to change because they all are in line with Taiwan belongs to China, right? We can't even agree on
if men should pay on a date or not.
Exactly. The most trivial shit.
Jordan or LeBron.
We're gonna argue that to the death. But here's the thing, and Shadi, you could probably answer this from a unique perspective. Obviously, you being there, I was having a conversation about, as a community, we don't have a monolithic thought, and there was some feedback to that, like, yo, should we or should we not? But based on what you're saying is like, we should have monolithic thoughts, and maybe correct me if I'm wrong, in certain scenarios. Or how do you see that?
I mean, as far as if you're moving forward, right, you can't be divided on every single issue. Of course, every single person is not going to think the same about every single thing, but there's a vast majority of things that you have to have at least a majority to agree upon. If you have no majority agreement upon anything, how are you ever going to get anything done? Like, that's not going to work. It's not going to work out for you. So I think that idea of that we're not a monolith, it is hurting us. Even the idea of like, you talking about Africa, when it's like Africa is 52 countries, that's hurting Africa. That's hurting Africa, and that's done intentionally because you're thinking by thinking on a nationalist level, you don't have enough resources, you don't have enough people, you don't have enough manpower. China has 1 billion people, right? 1 billion people, the size of America, a little bit bigger probably, and they all fall under one flag. I'm sure that 1 billion people don't have the same exact thought. I'm sure that's impossible, but they all are in line. They're all in line. That's helpful. That's helpful as far as you don't have this group of people doing this group of people doing this party fighting with that party. They trying their hardest to tear down the president while the other infighting is happening over here. Then the president, like that's a recipe for disaster.
And I always find it interesting in a country that is constructed on racism and the media has certain leanings that we get told that we don't think in monolithic tendencies, but racism does across the world. Like we have to have a united front. And at some point too, like we have to realize that all these individual opinions are keeping us fractured, and you can't make progress with all those opinions being in place. But
and it comes down to discipline too. Like, like I said, I actually got a tour of I got a tour of several manufacturing plants, and we're not going to catch up.
Say it again.
Yeah, that idea.
Say it again.
Too far gone.
It's not going to happen. Like as far as the idea of they've mastered manufacturing at every single level for every product. So when you're talking about electronics, they have the top manufacturing plants for electronics. When you're talking about fashion, when you're talking about home goods, when you're talking about hair bundles, like literally anything that you can. And I went to all of these different places, so much so I went to a town that has 200,000 Africans that live there, right? And I sat down. We got a lot of great content. Shout out to Ty. We sat down. We actually talked to a brother from Liberia. There's 200,000 Africans in one particular town, and they're here for one reason: to trade, do commerce. They're sending products back to Africa. So while America is saying like, look, can't beat them, join them. You got to be able to work with the people because they've mastered something that we've given up on.
Yep.
Like they have a skilled workforce that's disciplined and that's diligent. That alone is almost impossible to do. It's almost impossible to get millions of people to be diligent, to have a set skill set, and to work efficiently. That sounds easy. That's difficult to do. So it's one of these things where we got to just be honest. Sometimes in life, you got to have an honest conversation with yourself, right?
Yep.
We as a country are falling behind, and we as a country, our biggest issue is our divisiveness, and that's hurting us. And while we're infighting, other countries are working together to move forward. It's only so long that we can continue to infight before we are going down, and we're going to be second, third place in the ecosystem of the earth.